offers and learn how to apply by Friday, May 2nd.
Truth Nation, let us talk our ish for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Grammy Award winner John Legend.
Knowing that fight isn't over, knowing that we've got to stay motivated and stay inspired. Glory was a song that myself and Common wrote. Two brothers from the Midwest, from Chicago and from Springfield, Ohio.
Oscar Award winning actor Don Cheadle.
I know that we're the bright, shiny thing that sometimes gets the attention, but I would say don't listen to celebrities. You don't have to listen to us. Listen to yourself.
And President Donald Trump's son, Don Jr.
When did we have a strong economy? And I don't think anyone with a straight face can say right now. And the reality, when you look at it, it's not even voting for my father. Look at the team that's now surrounding him.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk. We are the home of Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time! It's time! It's beta time!
You are watching a master at work.
Truth Nation, get ready for the greatest 60 minutes in radio, giving you his authentic and bold opinions, bringing you all the information, entertainment, and conversations you gotta hear. From local issues to trending topics and headline news, it is time for Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is your award-winning host, Kyle Wallace.
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am your host of Truth to Power, Kyle Wallace, and I'm coming live to you from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Shout out to my boy DJ Brother Z for holding it down on the ones and the twos, and shout out to you, Truth Nation, for always being loyal listeners of 1017 The Truth. And as always, you can watch us, listen and watch us live on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube, 1017 The Truth on the YouTubes. Also, call and text in 833-212-1017. Again, like and subscribe. I came in here in a hurry, so Tuesdays, I have meetings on Tuesdays, and then distractions pop up out of nowhere. I'm telling y'all, I'm a very important person. They told me I was going to be less important when I agreed to do this, which I love doing this. But I'm telling you, I'm still very, very needed. Very, very needed. Dr. King came in. He talked to me for a little bit. We had a great conversation. Had a meeting before that. Somebody else came and talked to me. People popped up on me. So I'm coming here in a rush. I know Zach got a little bit nervous because it's got to like 12 o'clock, and you didn't get nervous?
Ain't my show.
Wait a minute. You ain't getting nervous? The way you be getting nervous,
I'll
Tori.
just get that intro again. I don't care.
You be looking where you be looking. Where's Tori at? But Tori, he got 5 minutes before his show start.
Yeah, plenty time.
Yeah, I had to pee. I'm getting old, DJ Brother Z, so I can't.
Yeah, you got.
Yeah, so I can't be holding it for no first whole segment, but But Truth Nation, I'm so excited to be here because I really feel like we got some great things that we want to talk about. And as I always like to start with some pleasantries and some nice stuff, first things first. So I got a little cousin. He got an opportunity to do something I always wanted to do. My little cousin yesterday, he lived in the Detroit. He got to throw out the first pitch at the Detroit Tigers game yesterday. I was so jealous because that's something I always wanted to do. But I just wanted to say shout out to my little cousin for being able to throw out the first pitch yesterday. He got it over the plate. No 50 Cent airmailing it. He got it over the plate yesterday. But shout out to little cuz throwing out the first pitch at the Detroit Tigers game yesterday. Truth Nation, I'm telling y'all this right now. I am going to throw out the first pitch at some point. That's my goal. I'm going to make it happen. Now, in addition, yesterday, cousin threw out the first pitch. But yesterday here on Truth to Power, I talked a little bit, the Catholic Church. I talked about how hypocritical I see the Catholic Church being in many different instances, especially when it comes to some of the sexual abuse allegations and confirmations in the $4 billion worth of payout that the Catholic churches have to do because of the fact that they had so many abuse scandals that had turned into actual valid cases where they had to pay for covering up the many, many years and many, many people that were sexually abused and assaulted by priests inside the Catholic Church. But there was a funny, I guess, and disgraceful thing that I saw by somebody named Marjorie Taylor Greene. If y'all don't know who Marjorie Taylor Greene, she was here in the studio a couple years ago, a year before, so it's 2 years ago, two Augusts ago. She was here in the studio and got an interview with Sherwin Hughes on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And I just remember her being here. I helped her in and all that. And she's some of the deplorable people that we talk about. And yesterday, Marjorie Taylor Greene, when we talked about the Catholic Church, right, we talked about the passing of the Pope. And yesterday, my show was about how these Catholics, they say one thing, and then so often they do another. And even Christians, right, say one thing and do another. And my whole thing yesterday was the Pope was the people's Pope. The Pope was for humanity. The Pope was for being so nice and thinking about others, putting others before himself, right? And so I said the crazy thing is there's so many people that did not like him and found him to be controversial because of his perspective and his views put people first, right? I talked about it yesterday, right? He's against gay marriage, but he said, hey, I'm not going to sit here and talk badly about the sin that they're doing because we all sin, right? He said getting a divorce is something that we don't want to do in the Catholic Church, but if that's a decision that you make, you are still God's child, right? We are all the children of God. That's something that he preached, right? And he practiced. And I told y'all yesterday that there are people who are upset with him being so open-minded to accepting all of God's children. And one of those individuals was a great example. She didn't tweet this until after my show. It's Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's a representative from Georgia. Yesterday, Marjorie Taylor Greene, crazy behind, tweeted out, today there was a major shift in global leadership. Evil is being defeated by the hand of God. Let me just repeat that one more time. Today there were major shifts in global leadership, and evil is being defeated by the hand of God. This crazy woman literally tweeted out that evil is being defeated by the hand of God the day that the world is mourning the death of the Pope. It's crazy. Like this individual, Marjorie Taylor Greene, is a sick, crazy, and deranged individual. There's no other way to describe her. She's completely ungodly. On a day where you should just have some respect and simply say, hey, I'm thinking about the people that he cared about, the people that he touched. Nope. She said that, the hand of God is getting rid of evil. She's just such an ungodly person. Somebody leaves Earth, and that is the response that you have. But I told y'all, these people is crazy. And the sad thing about all this, Truth Nation, is the fact that she's going to go ahead and get reelected again. She's going to go ahead and still be on her committees and be supported by Republicans. There's going to be Republicans who maybe even call into the show or talk to their friends who say, well, everybody has the right to their opinion. Even in death, Republicans will either bash somebody, like we've seen Donald Trump do before, or people will justify a sick comment like this about somebody who died, who impacted lives in a positive way. Let me tell you this, that he definitely had a more positive impact on people's lives than Marjorie Taylor Greene did. So I just think it's so shameful, so shameful. And Republicans should be condemning her for her comments because her comments were sick. And so, again, the biggest thing that I really found out and I really wanted to just say is that a lot of y'all folks who celebrated Easter on Sunday, a lot of y'all folks that put on your Easter best, a lot of y'all folks that went to go get something to eat with your family, you cooked for the family, a lot of y'all that prayed to God, a lot of these so-called Christians and so-called Catholics, a lot of y'all would have been the same people who would have been throwing rocks at Jesus Christ hanging on a cross. Y'all think now that, we know what history is, that y'all can't believe they did that to Jesus. But a lot of y'all would have been right there with them fools throwing rocks at Jesus Christ who was on the cross. I'm telling you this right now. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. A lot of y'all so-called Christians and Catholics would have been shunning Jesus Christ back in the day. You would have said, get him, throw the rocks. So just wanted to bring that up. But real quick, DJ Brother Z, now that we got that out the system, there is something else I want to talk about. And I want to talk about this whole autism thing. So go ahead, DJ Brother Z. We're going, wait a second. Off the top. I want to hit him with off the top.
Woke up this morning. You got yourself.
Y'all know what time it is. It's time for Off the Top on Truth to Power. Kyle, let Truth Nation know what you got to get off your chest today.
What up, Truth Nation? What up, Truth Nation? So, there was some comments in the conversation that was had last week, but I didn't have time to cover it, right? I didn't have time to cover something that I really, really wanted to address, right? And it was the spreading of misinformation that I saw last week. And, I try to be accepting and I try to be open-minded, and I try not to talk bad about people, but I do. That's part of my job. But there were some comments that were made by Robert Kennedy Jr. about autism last week, right? And when I saw these comments about autism, I thought they were very misguided, misinformation, and I thought they were some hurtful comments, right? And I think somebody like Robert Kennedy, coming from the position that he has as the, basically the human health, in charge of the human health department, right? He can't just say what he wants to say and spread things that he wants to spread. His opinion doesn't matter. The position that he has, seeing over the Department of Health, the Secretary of Health Department, I believe that's his official title. You need to be coming from a factual stance. What you believe does not matter. What you think does not matter. What the science says and what the fact says should be the only thing that you should be spewing and regurgitating. Because your opinion in this role means nothing to me. Nothing at all. If you have not done firsthand research and gotten data yourself, collected the data yourself, talked to scientists that have researched this, then you should not be spreading misinformation. But unfortunately, we live in a time where it is perfectly fine for somebody to hold an office and spread misinformation. So I want y'all to go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube, and I want y'all to hear the comments that came from Robert Kennedy, who is in charge of the United States Health Department.
It's an individual tragedy as well. Autism destroys families. More importantly, it destroys our greatest resource, which are our children. These are children who should not be suffering like this. These are kids who, many of them were fully functional and regressed because of some environmental exposure into autism when they're 2 years old. And these are kids who will never pay taxes. They'll never hold a job. They'll never play baseball. They'll never write a poem. They'll never go out on a date. Many of them will never use a toilet unassisted. And we have to recognize we are doing this to our children, and we need to put an end to it.
That is Robert Kennedy, United States Secretary of Health and Human Services, talking about autism, right? And we're going to have this conversation, but I feel like he's making these wide, ranging claims which are completely not true and misrepresent children with autism in a disrespectful manner, which is disrespectful to children with autism, adults with autism, and parents with kids with autism. To sit up there and say they're basically worthless, useless, they won't contribute to society, they can't even use the bathroom for themselves is an absolute false claim. We all know somebody who is autistic, whether it's a large, whether or not they're high functioning autism, or whether or not they are individuals that have, developmental disabilities, cognitive disabilities. But to sit here and make an overarching statement, a bold claim as the Secretary of Health and Human Services, that everybody who has autism won't pay taxes, they can't wipe their own behind, they'll never go to a movie, they won't throw a baseball, they'll never kiss a girl. Like, all these stupid claims that you make is dangerous rhetoric. And again, it is disrespectful all during Autism Awareness Month. To sit here and just talk about the extreme cases and let that paint the broad brush of what autism is messed up, coming from somebody who is supposed to be a health expert. We all know somebody with autism. I used to work in the schools and work with children who had autism. Yes, autism has ranges, right? There are. We know people who have autism. But to sit here and tell somebody, and a lot of people who have their own personal experience with people with autism, and tell us that this person that has autism can't wipe their own behind, can't use the bathroom while being assisted, is ridiculous. And the kids that I worked with who had autism, obviously there was other barriers that they had. And they did have some trouble sometimes with friendships. That's some of them, not all of them. But to sit here and say they all have these issues is ridiculous. You know how many autistic people today are paying taxes? I work with people that are autistic. So to sit here and make that bold claim, don't look at me like that, Zach. Don't look at me like that. But the fact that somebody can sit here and make that comment like that and not be shunned, and the president stand by his side. And then he went on to say that autism was something that was never, people my age never had autism. No, y'all just weren't diagnosed with autism. And for somebody like yourself who talks about how they had a brain-eating worm, somebody like yourself who got a baby bear cub and left it on the side of the road, somebody like yourself that eat raw meat sitting here talking about somebody else who has some type of issues, brother, you got issues too. And I'm sure if they tested more baby boomers for autism, they would have found out that they have autism as well. So I just think the nerve of him to talk bad about people with autism from that position is terrible. Now, I will say this. I don't want him perpetuating negative stereotypes, because it doesn't help acceptance, where we live in a world where, people who have autism now have shows on Netflix, TLC, in different places, right? They're human beings. And so when you perpetuate these negative stereotypes, you're trying to paint a negative brush about these people. Now, there was more to the audio than just that, right? He did talk about the fact that he's going to do research, which I am all behind additional research into autism. I am all behind trying to figure out, is it in our drinking water? Is it in our houses? Is it in our food? Like, is it in the microplastics? Trying to get to the bottom of why autism is caused and how we can solve autism, if you would like, right? Like, I think when, there's nothing wrong with people with autism, but if we want to be able to give people the best opportunity to live a fulfilled life, not saying those who have autism don't live a fulfilled life, because they 100% do, but there are barriers having some type of being on the spectrum. And so I'm 100% behind them when it comes to research, but here's the thing, y'all. I tell y'all this all the time. Don't ever take anything from the Trump administration at face value, because there's always something else behind it. Now, it would be great if, in his mind, in 6 months, by the time we get to November, we will have information on why autism is caused. Great, that would be great. But see, here's the thing. Y'all got to understand, is that research takes money. Research takes funding. And have y'all ever heard of the Department of Government Efficiency, or AKA DOGE? Y'all know how Doge was cutting and slashing things left and right? Elon Musk had a chainsaw on stage to everybody cheering, yeah, cut. Guess what got cut by Doge? Research for autism. Yes, funding research for autism was cut. Was it completely cut? No, but their budget was cut. Their staff was significantly laid off. So to have this man get on stage and do a press conference talking about doing research on autism, all while the administration that he is with that supports him is cutting funding for the very research he wants to do, is butt backwards. I'm telling y'all, we can take nothing they say at face value. They're liars. They're manipulators. They make things up. So yes, any research we can have with autism to see in a classroom, how can they function better? Is it something at birth that can assist with? Anything we can do to help with autism, fantastic. But you can't sit here and say that, but out the side of your neck, you got somebody cutting stuff. It just doesn't make sense. So I just felt like, again, this is something that happened last week that I just wanted to bring to people's attention, because I think today it came out that Doge had cut funding for autism research. And I just think it's so interesting how these people have no idea what they're doing. No idea. Legitimately, they get up there, say one thing, and they do another. They don't even know what is happening. And tomorrow when I'm joined by Dame LZ, we're going to have a conversation talking about somebody else who doesn't know what he's doing. That's Pete Hegseth, who is the Secretary of Defense. But 833-212-1017. Those are my thoughts here talking about Robert Kennedy and painting the broad brush. And the fact that Doge, you can look it up, you can research it. Doge made cuts to the office that does research for autism. You can Google it. It's that easy to find. It's backwards because it goes against what he says. But good luck with that, and I hope he's able to find some type of groundbreaking or have some type of breakthrough when it comes to research for that, because I do understand that that could be positive for a lot of families. But don't paint the broad brush. 833-212-1017. This is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Remember, you can always watch and stream us live on YouTube at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. Also, give us a subscription as well. When we come back on the other side, we got to talk about Shannon Sharpe and the situation happening with Shannon Sharpe as another black man who has found success is once again under attack. This is an interesting conversation, but we got to have it because I feel like somebody got to step up and defend black men. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. We're going to be talking about Shannon Sharpe on the other side.
Skip. But you know what? Skip.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Dear employer,
my name is Phil Martin.
My name is Michael Raskovich.
Ronaldo Bird.
Zach Dizer. I am writing to express my excitement at the opportunity to join your team.
As someone on the spectrum,
I possess a unique set of skills
that sets me apart from other candidates.
My detail-oriented nature allows me to communicate complex ideas,
to break down data,
to have no fear in meeting new people.
I may communicate in ways that are different from what you're used to.
Structure, routine,
and clear expectation.
Help me do my best work.
My autism allows me to have a perspective that needs to be seen and heard.
It allows me to make the world safer and improve systems in ways others can't.
It allows me to bring people's inner worlds to life with my artwork.
My autism
will bring your team important insights.
Thank you for your consideration.
An autistic inclusive workplace is good for business. It's time to make a change. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/win.
This is Sherwin Hughes from The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And Truth Nation, you can now watch my show live on YouTube every day from 9 a.m. until noon. Yep, you can get 3 full hours of watching Sherwin doing his thing streaming live on YouTube Monday through Friday. You'll get the same insightful conversations about policy, politics, and lifestyle while also seeing my reaction to the unpredictability of our listeners. So go to YouTube right now, subscribe to 1017 The Truth, and see this wonderful smile live every day.
What if you could ask a question that leads to cleaner water? Discover aspects of the far reaches of space. or journey deep into data to improve healthcare. Researchers at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee ask questions, find answers, and add to our understanding every day. Progress starts with the question. It starts at UWM, the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee.
Need to look your best for a special occasion? You need
the $100 hookup.
This incredible deal includes a marvelous suit, shirt, tie, and shoes, all for $100. Only at Nick Cavani's, home of the
$100 hookup.
And that isn't limited to some standard stock suit. You'll be pleased by the top quality and variety of fashion offered at Nick Cavani's. No matter the occasion, maybe you're just ready for a fresh, new stylish look. Get hooked up today at Nick Cavani's in Mayfair Mall and at nickcavani's.com.
Maya is always on the move, and so is her money. Buy this here, deposit that there. She and her money are a lot to keep track of. Good thing Maya banks with Landmark Credit Union and uses their amazing mobile app. Maya checks her balance, deposits checks, pays bills, even transfers money between friends. So while Maya's coming and going, she can see her funds coming, going, and, best of all, growing. Landmark Credit Union. Banking made easy. Insured by NCUA.
This is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I'm your host of Truth to Power, Kyle Wallace, and you're listening live on 1017 The Truth. You can watch and stream us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. On the other side, I just had a conversation talking about Robert F. Kennedy, where I agree there should be research done, but I disagree with the comments that he made about people with autism not being pooping themselves and all these different things. It's just again, we shouldn't really lead with that with the people on the extreme level. We should just have an honest conversation. You should be saying, hey, most of the people with autism are, they don't ruin families, right? They enhance families. They're human beings. They're children. They're adults. They help build up America. They make the country great, the world great. But we also want to do some type of research. But nope, always doom and gloom with that Trump administration, I tell you. But now I want to talk about something that I saw yesterday, but I didn't have time to put it into my show. So Shannon Sharpe, former NFL player, now podcaster, Club Shay Shay and Nightcap, and also was on FS1 with Skip Bayless. Now he's on First Take with Stephen A. Smith on ESPN. And Shannon Sharpe is now once again part of a long list of men, but black men, who are being accused of sexual assault. Now, I don't know all what happened, but what I do know is that the person who, the attorney for the lady who was accusing Shannon Sharpe, is Tony Busby. And if you heard that name Tony Busby before, Tony Busby is a shark. He's a scam artist. He's somebody who prey on women in their vulnerable state who are going through very terrible situations. He preys on those individuals to try to get them money, but also get him money. And my first time I've heard of Tony Busby was with the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns now, but at the time, Houston, Texas, Deshaun Watson. Now, I've always had a controversial stance with Deshaun Watson because I feel like what Deshaun Watson did was, listen, he did some things that were wrong, but the court of law actually found that he didn't do anything that crossed the line where he was actually legally liable to face any jail time for sexual assault. Now, he did end up paying these women some money. And then Tony Busby, when Travis Scott in the Astro World concert that was happening, there were people that got trampled at Astro World, and they ended up trying to sue Travis Scott for that, and Tony Busby was the attorney for that, right? And then Tony Busby finally met his match when he took on a fake lawsuit involving Diddy and Jay-Z, where he said that there was a woman when she was a teenager, went to a party where Jay-Z and Diddy were at, that Jay-Z and Diddy sexually assaulted her. Now, Jay-Z, with the wherewithal and the finances that he had, he said, oh, okay, we playing that game? And Jay-Z pushed back against the allegations, and to the point where they dropped the case against Jay-Z. And also, Jay-Z I believe he tried to countersue, but I do know that Tony Busby right now may not be able to practice law in the state of New York because of the malicious and fabricated allegations of sexual assault that were made against him that was purely just trying to extort people. Now, back to this Shannon Sharpe thing. I'm going to like the news story here. I'm not sure. I'll let y'all know what news station that is on the backside. But here's a little update about exactly what is going on with Shannon Sharpe, another black man.
Moving to the football world, Hall of Fame tight end Shannon Sharpe is now facing a civil lawsuit. A woman claims Sharpe raped and threatened her. She filed a $50 million lawsuit. Sharpe is now, of course, an ESPN sportscaster, podcaster, host. He's got a lot going on, but his lawyer responded to the lawsuit on X, claiming the relationship was consensual and called the lawsuit blatant and cynical, an attempt to shake down Sharpe for millions.
Shake down Sharpe for millions. Now, again, my whole issue is this: I don't know, and that was KVUE TV station out in Austin, Texas. And so, I don't know the situation for this, and I ain't gonna act like I know all the details because I'm not gonna do that. I don't know the details because they have not come out. They have not come out. But for me, it just rubs me the wrong way, where I constantly see black men who have found success being attacked once again, right? Like, and the thing with this with Shannon Sharpe, this man Shannon Sharpe has been on TV for almost 20 years. He was on CBS back in the mid 2000s, right? He's been doing this stuff for a long time, but now when Shannon Sharpe is in his golden moment and he's starting to shine, now the accusations are starting to come. Now, again, I don't know Shannon Sharpe personally. I don't know this woman personally. I don't know any of that. But what I do know is I do see a common trend that happened when black men start making money and black men start getting famous, is that there seems to be somebody that's coming for them. I think about Drewski, who's a comedian who was accused of being at a Diddy party in 2018, and Drewski said, I was broke in 2018. I wasn't there. He even released his bank statement showing that he was in Atlanta, Georgia at the time during it, not in L.A., and showed the bank statement from that day. So it just seems to me that every time African Americans, not all, but many, right, we hear these stories about African Americans, men, with these sexual assault allegations or some type of allegations, even the Bill Cosby situation, which to me, again, Bill Cosby should have never been putting Quaaludes in them women drink or giving them women Quaaludes. Now, I understand there's a different time. I was not around during that time, and that people take these drugs at these parties. But Bill Cosby did so dirty because they told him he would give information, he would sit here and do a deposition, but they would not use it against him. He was told this. They would not use his deposition against him. And then 9 years later, a attorney, I don't say attorney, it was like a state attorney who used that information against him after they promised him they would not. And then Bill Cosby, at the age of 80 and could barely see, had to go to jail. District attorney did that to him in Pennsylvania. So I just constantly see African-American men, when they make it to a certain level, somebody's looking to always tear them down. And as a black man, it's so hurtful, right? It's hurtful because these are the people that a lot of people look up to. But then you think about yourself, if I were to ever make it, right? If I were to ever make it, would somebody accuse me of doing something? If something was consensual, would somebody accuse me of doing something? If I made somebody upset, would they accuse me of doing something? And what bothers me so much is that me as a black man and once being a head football coach of black kids, high school kids, having to deal with a situation where one of my former players goes up to college and, you know, he's doing the do with some young lady, and then he makes a decision that, hey, I don't want to hang out with you no more. And the young lady sent him messages on Snapchat saying, I'm going to ruin your life. If you do this, I'm going to ruin your life. Now, remember, it's on Snapchat, so it disappears. So this man gets kicked out of school, has to hire an attorney and pay thousands and thousands of dollars to fight a case. And then it comes out after the attorney that he hires, they look in, they contact Snapchat, they do some research, and guess what? Snapchat was able to find the messages and everything got dropped. But guess what? He had been out of school for a year now. He had to pay $10,000 plus to get an attorney. And all the school said that girl had to do, and he had to do, was write an apology letter of why you shouldn't have these type of, you shouldn't have relations like that. This man literally lost a year of his life, lost thousands of dollars off a fake accusation, and the only thing the police said was y'all should write a damn apology letter. This is the thing that we face as black men. So when I see allegations like this, I'm sorry, Truth Nation, but I stand up for black men first until I see evidence. If I don't see evidence and I hear the allegation, depending on what the allegation and accusation is, I'm going to stand with the brother, because way too often nobody stands with these brothers. So yes, am I wrong for doing that? That's up to you to decide. But I'm not going to leave black men out there to dry. I'm not going to allow for people to sit here and have false allegations that destroy black men. And before we go to break, I see the phones, I see the texts. We're going to get to this. But, and trust me, y'all gonna want to watch this because I got screenshots of conversations, and I even got conversations that we're going to play on the other side. But I think about a former guy that wanted to make it to the NFL named Brian Banks, who was accused of raping a white girl down in Georgia. I think it was down in Georgia. And he was found guilty of it. Spent time behind bars, never got a chance to get that football scholarship that he was offered, never got a chance to play college football. And then it came out 5 years later. She apologized for making it up and lying. This man spent time behind bars. This man, who was a top recruit out of high school for football, lost his potential career in the NFL, all because somebody lied on him. So yes, should we believe women? I believe we definitely should believe women, but also there needs to be space to believe black men, because every black man ain't guilty and every woman who make an accusation ain't telling the truth. That is the fact. Point blank, period. 833-212-1017. I believe black men. I do. 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Make sure you watch and stream us live, because when we come back on the other side, I'm going to show y'all screenshots of text messages between Shannon Sharpe and the alleged victim in this case. Keep it locked. You are listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Walls right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
At U.S. Cellular, we believe loyalty is never a one-way street, so we love finding new ways to say thank you to our customers. This is why we're hosting Us Days again. It's our exclusive in-store event to celebrate you, our loyal customers, with unique offers for everyone. Visit our stores during Us Days until April 23rd to take advantage of offers up to $1,200 off of any smartphone and up to $500 off of any tablet. This is the perfect time to upgrade. Come into any U.S. Cellular store for more details. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
The I-94 rivalry is more than just bragging rights. Get to the ballpark for Brewers-Cubs action May 2nd through the 4th and spend Friday and Saturday night under the lights. And help the Crew defend American Family Field and the National League Central Crown.
That's your ball game!
Then pack the park for Sunday matinee baseball at the May 4th series finale. And take advantage of the Sunday Fun Day Bundle. Get your tickets now at Brewers.com.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
More than 6 million kids in the U.S. have ADHD, and many aren't getting the support they need. At understood.org, we can help. Sometimes in class, the only thing your child can focus on are the thoughts racing through their head.
Why am I always falling behind? Why do I feel so alone? So different.
Your child is looking to you for answers. But as a parent, you probably have a lot of questions too. What should I do next? Where do I even start? At understood.org, we provide parents with the resources they need to help kids with ADHD thrive. Your child wants to thrive. Be the reason they do. Visit understood.org/the-reason to get started.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth, powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. Tough night for the Milwaukee Brewers as they fall in Game 1 of the 4-game set out there in San Francisco to the Giants. This one by a final score of 5-2. The loss dropping the Brewers to an overall record of 12-11. Game 2 scheduled tonight for 8:45. Jose Quintana on the mound for the Brew Crew. Over to the NBA, where the Milwaukee Bucks will look to even up the series in Indiana tonight as they take on the Pacers in Game 2. Head coach Doc Rivers with some good news surrounding his Bucks.
Here's the good news. We know they're there. We know they're open. Now we have to do the right thing.
That's head coach Doc Rivers talking about the offense and making shots as the Bucks will look to even things up tonight. Tip-off time is set for 6 p.m. And lastly, over to the NFL, where the draft is just a few days away. Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst on his mindset heading into the draft.
I feel really good about our roster right now. I mean, I think that's one of the. It doesn't happen every year. I mean, every year's a little bit different. But if we have to go play next week, I feel really good about our roster and our ability to win and go compete.
Round 1 set to kick off on Thursday night. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
You are listening to Truth to Power on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on 101.7 The Truth on YouTube.
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. I am your host, Kyle Wallace of Truth to Power. Make sure y'all check us out Thursday and Friday this week as I will be live from the NFL Draft, courtesy of, sponsored by Nick Avani's. Make sure y'all hit up Nick Avani's at Mayfair Mall for the $100 hookup. This whole week that I have leading up to the NFL Draft is sponsored by Nick Avani's. Go to nickavanis.com and get suited and booted for any occasion that you have. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk to text line. We're going to take a quick call, but make sure y'all go to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube because I got the screenshots. Yes, I got the screenshots and we got the audio of everything that's going on here with Shannon Sharpe. Just recently, Shannon Sharpe did release a video. We're going to play some of that audio as well, but I am here to say we need to stand up and protect black men because not all the time when black men are accused of things, they aren't always guilty, but at the end of the day, many of their careers are ended because they can never come back from the allegations. 833-212-1017. Brian, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. What are your thoughts on this conversation?
My thoughts are this. The proof of how these things go down, we've got history on this. So for black men to make a mistake at that level, at this late in the game, there must be a cognitive disassociation with reality. When you're dealing with certain types of women, they need to have NDAs in place before they even do the first date.
I agree.
Either that, or date a sister, or date an Asian lady. And we all know Asian ladies never file lawsuits.
You know what?
This is all you got to do. They don't file no lawsuits like these fools be doing.
Thank you,
Asian
Brian.
women don't do that.
No, thank you, Brian. You know what's crazy about that? Now, I ain't never seen an Asian lady file no lawsuit. Not saying they don't. I'm just saying when it comes to some of these famous folks, it's never an Asian woman. I don't know what that is. I can't speak to it. I have no idea. But again, 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. What I want y'all to do is go to YouTube because right now we're going to have the screenshots, right? We're going to have the screenshots that are placed up there. And I want to take a look at these screenshots because, and it can get a little egregious with the screenshots. So, for adults only. But in the screenshots, and I'm just repeating, this is some of the conversation. The text from the individual that's accusing him named Gabriella Zuniga to Shannon Sharpe, Zuniga. Shannon Sharpe, she said, only if you put the baby gravy. I can't read this. This is too much. But make sure y'all go to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube to see some of these explicit text messages. A screenshot of the explicit text messages between these two. These are very, very explicit. So what I'm saying is this. I don't know everything that's happening, but based off these aggressive text messages, that's my daddy, I want you to do this and do that. They have a kinky freaky relationship. I mean, DJ Brother Z, would you say this is some kinky, next level, not normal type relationship type stuff?
This is a sick Negro.
That's what I'm saying. It's a lot, right? It's to each their own, but obviously they have a relationship where it is built on different type of kinks that they may have that for some may cross a line, but for them, this is what they do, right? Like, this is what they do. And so now I'm going to play an audio clip that was posted by Tony Busby, and it was released to show an audio clip of a conversation between Shannon Sharpe, audio link between Shannon Sharpe and this young lady, Gabriella. Now, again, you're going to hear some crazy stuff in this, but based off, again, I am not the judge. I am not the jury. I am not in the jurisdiction. I will not be part of this case whatsoever, but I'm using context clues, and I'm an adult, right? And as an adult, we know what's up. We know some people do some weird, nasty stuff. And Shannon Sharpe and this woman clearly do weird, nasty stuff and have weird type of conversations. And there was a whole movie out that was called 50 Shades of Grey. 50 Shades of Grey came out maybe 10, 15 years ago at this point. And it talked about people having these different kinks where she would be so submissive to him and that she would give her spankings and different things like that, right? Like that movie was a craze. I know DJ Brother Z and Rhea are a little bit too young when that movie came out. That was rated R. Y'all shouldn't have seen that. But that's what that was about. That is a lifestyle many people live. We know that as Americans. So I'm going to play some audio here of Shannon Sharpe speaking to this Gabriella woman here on 101.7 The Truth.
Anything I say, you're just going to get mad at and you're just going to hang up on me. So I feel like...
I'm not going to hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so...
I don't want to be... Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
I don't want to be choked. I don't think you have a choice in the matter. Now, I understand. Again, it sounds bad, right? It sounds bad. But y'all saw them text messages. When he said you don't want to be choked, you don't have a choice in that matter. You think that man is threatening to choke that woman and say you don't have a choice in me choking you? No. If she was afraid of being choked out because of being abused, you think they would have another time for them to see each other? No. They some damn freaks. That's what people do. Some of y'all listening and asked to be choked, man, female, whatever you decide to be. But this is just what some people do. And she's trying to use this against Shannon Sharpe from my perspective. Now, again, go to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube because we just heard the audio that was released from Tony Busby. But now here is an audio that was just recently released from Shannon Sharpe on this matter.
Family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about, and I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys.
Shannon Sharpe said it was a shakedown, and some of y'all in the chat talking about y'all like to be spanked, y'all nasty. Y'all some listen, Truth Nation, y'all nasty. It's 12:48 in the afternoon. Y'all talking about that. Y'all nasty. But I agree. I 100% agree this is a shakedown. Because simply, again, another black man who, again, has been in media for 20 years all of a sudden takes off. And now the accusations and allegations come when they know he got on. We can't sit here and allow black men to continue to be shaken down. 833-212-1017. Al, got about 30 seconds here for you. What are your thoughts here on this conversation today?
Well, a lot of women are into rape sex, and she's trying to pass it off of his mandingo. He needs to flip the script and sue her for $250 million.
He ain't got $250 million, Al.
No. Where she can get it, she's using that thing in her mouth. She got her OnlyFans. Raise the subscription. She will. Bye-bye.
All right, well, Al, I guess Carly on OnlyFans.
Let him cook.
It was just, I guess her OnlyFans. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't even know how to respond to Al sometimes. But what I will say is this: is that this situation clearly to me seems like another case of a black man being shaken down, as Shannon Sharpe said. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk to text line. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube always at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a subscription as well. On the other side, I will wrap this conversation up telling y'all why I believe that I will always protect black men until they give me a reason not to when it comes to the allegations and accusations. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace, and we will wrap up the show on the other side.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash Giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
Attention small business owners. In-person registration for the City of Milwaukee Vendor Fair scheduled for April 24th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. is now closed. If you missed registration, a recording of the event will be made available online after the vendor fair. For more details, you can visit milwaukee.gov/DOA event. That is milwaukee.gov/DOA event. This event is a gateway to expand your business through workshops, networking, and direct access to knowledgeable city staff regarding contracting and small business enterprise certification. Interested in expanding your small business via government contracting but can't make the event? Email devcord@milwaukee.gov to learn how small business enterprise certification with the City of Milwaukee can take your business to the next level. Sponsored by City of Milwaukee, Department of Administration, City of Milwaukee Purchasing Department, and City of Milwaukee Department of City Development. For more information, you can visit milwaukee.gov/DOA events.
Need to look sharp for graduation? You need
the $100 hookup.
Want to get decked out for prom? Get the
$100 hookup.
An incredible deal that includes a marvelous suit, shirt, tie, shoes, all for $100. Only at Nick Avani's, home of the
$100 hookup.
And that isn't limited to some standard stock suit. You'll be pleased by the top quality and variety of fashion offered at Nick Avani's. Get hooked up today at Nick Avani's in Mayfair Mall and at nickavanis.com.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, They've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
1, 2, 3, ho!
It's one call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices. Listen, if you or a loved one's ever entered an accident, don't mess around, y'all. I'm telling y'all this right now. Do not play around. Call Gruber Law Offices. I know y'all see the billboards. Y'all see the T's for threes at the Bucks game. Y'all see him in the community. Yeah, he can do all that because he wins a lot of cases. And he wins a lot of cases because he be standing on business. So listen, if you or a loved one or a friend or anybody you know is ever injured in an accident, make sure y'all tell them to make one call, that's all, to Gruber Law Offices, because they will take care of the rest. And what I love about them, you never pay a single penny. You never pay a single cent until they win your case. So I'm telling you, Truth Nation, don't mess around with no other law firm. Get with the winning team today at Gruber Law Offices by visiting them at gruber-law.com. That is gruber-law.com, or calling them at 414-276-6666. It's one call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices. This has been Truth to Power on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. And to wrap up the show here is yes. I see y'all in the chat talking about how nasty them comments is with Shannon Sharpe, between Shannon and his OnlyFans model, Carly.
This is a sick Negro.
Listen, sick, freaky, hey, to each their own. I hope one day I get so I hope I get so rich that me and my wife. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing.
Let him cook.
Nah. My mama probably listening. Well,
You in charge. I want to hear you say that. Say it.
I'm in charge.
You my partner.
I know.
Say it, I'm in charge.
I'm in charge.
That is Shannon Sharpe and Gabby, a.k.a. Carly from OnlyFans. That man crazy. That man really DM'd the OnlyFans model. Come on, Shannon, you nasty. You like what you saw. You said, I want it. I want it now. 100%. Yeah, you right. DJ Brother C, you right. Yes, you miss every shot. 100% of the shots you don't take. But I'm going to be serious for the last minute here. We got to understand that there is a constant attack on black men in America, right? And as being a black man in America who I feel like I haven't been attacked in this way, thank God, but there is a force of having to grow up young as a black male. I just remember scenarios and situations as a young black kid or as a young black teenager where I was faced with a scenario where I was judged based off of being black or accused of doing something I didn't because I was simply black and fitting the description. And so when I see African American men who are already perceived as being angry, aggressive, loud, overbearing sometimes, when I see us who already become victims at such a young age to society, when we make it and we give back and there's vultures trying to pull us down and attack us like in this situation with Shannon Sharpe, I take that personally. And I'm not sitting here saying that we should not believe women, because we should, because so many women don't speak up because of the fact they have to deal with so much backlash, and that it's not fair. Not fair at all. But what we can't do is every time a black man, a famous black man, get accused of something, make jokes, jump down his throat, and throw him away, because in some of these situations, we're helping ruin a black man that we're not going to help build back up when his innocence is found. This has been Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am Kyle Wallace, the host. The Tory Lowe Show is up next. Peace out. I'll see y'all tomorrow. This is 1017 The Truth, Kyle Wallace, and I am